What's up, guys? Isn't this thing cool? Welcome to Sunday's live stream. Hope everybody's having a good time, and I hope, let's see, we're recording right now. We don't need to do that. I'm hoping the audio is in sync for once, because we've been having some trouble on Twitch. So let me know. We'll do our little audio checks, because as you know, it's not one of my streams unless there's some audio issues. So we got that maximized, and we'll get the chat moved over. And we'll start this. Hi guys, hi. Audio is good, sweet, not too loud. You guys would have complained already if it was too loud. I'm pretty sure of that. Isn't this thing sweet? So those who just follow me on YouTube, like a weeb, haven't seen this yet. I posted on Instagram. There is going to be a little delay with this video. Sorry, I said it would be coming up this weekend. There was a special surprise with this video, but it got messed up. So I need a few more days. But yeah, so I'm pretty proud of this one. A full wearable Samus Aran helmet from Metroid Prime. I love this game. Metroid Prime for GameCube was my jam. And yeah, so this is gonna be pretty. There's actually two videos coming out with this. First is the video on how I 3D printed it, painted it, did most of everything, and then the visor is actually gonna be a separate video because this is actually solid plexiglass that's actually molded to fit. So that's gonna be a separate video because I don't want that to get buried in just this Samus Aran helmet tutorial. I'll cover it briefly in the video. I'm probably gonna upload them literally like the same day, which kind of goes against my better judgment, but we'll manage. Because a lot of people have asked, hey, I want to do that for a Mandalorian helmet. I want to do that for this. I want to do that for that. We're not going to talk about it in this live stream. It's for the video. It just involves plexiglass and some heat. This thing is pinching me. Let me adjust the microphone. Cool. So this is, hello, Samus. This is just a pretty general Q&A. I do have some talking points. I ran a little questionnaire on Instagram to see what you guys, there's more light in here, to see what you guys wanted to talk about, and beginning questions, startup questions, things, you know, some of the questions were bad. I'm not going to talk about those, but we are going to talk about just the general, you know, I think noob questions. I want to, like the title of this video, I want to focus a little bit more on like newbie, beginning questions. How do you start up? I've been at this for a little over a year now. I have some good costs in mind. And I've talked to plenty of you guys, so it's been working out pretty nicely. I will have some visual aids as they become relevant, of course, and yeah, I appreciate it. So let's start. We got some questions in the chat already. I do have them saved. I probably should have pulled them up on the screen. I could have made like a nice banner, but whatever, for next time. Yeah, your video on how to use a soldering iron to melt parts together helped me out so much making a Daedric sword with an E3P. You got it, Andrew. You're welcome, man. I think I'm going to do an advanced video of that because I hate that video. If I'm being honest, I kind of hate that video only for the fact that I had been doing it for a little while, but I really wasn't that proficient with it. So I've learned more. You know, I made that video almost a year ago, roughly. So there's a lot more I've learned, a lot more techniques. So I think I can make that video better now. It's a toss-up. Maybe like advanced PLA welding or advanced, yeah, something like that, you know, and then I can link them together. Your video on how do you, oh yeah, I already read that. What's up? I feel like our sleeping cycle is out of sync big time. Kelly, you should make an ODST. I am not a Halo fan, Mark Hall. I'm sorry. That's the benefit of the level of the channel. And how I kind of do things. I kind of only make the stuff I like. That's why I don't take random commissions, because that'll quickly suck the fun out of what I want to do. So I just woke up 10 minutes ago only because I set an alarm for Alexa to wake me. Haha, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, so we got some good latency with that. Funny thing, I don't know why YouTube started streaming immediately. That was weird. I got to figure out
Yep, lost the camera again. Nothing can go right. So, well, at least that works. It probably sounds like I'm really far away because now we're using that microphone. So, yeah. No, camera's fine. It's the drivers in this 4K link, man. I'm still hashing it out. Yep. Iron Man helmet, Halo helmet, it's all transferable skills. It is. It is a very transferable skill. However, it kind of boils down to what do I want to commit the time to. Isn't this camera so much worse? I hate it. Oh my god. It's so bad. It's so super bad. Yeah. I don't know why it does that. It's rather annoying. Like I can stream on Twitch for like 3 hours and it'll be absolutely fine. And then for some reason Sony just decides, nah, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like working. So still trying to sort out that bug. Talking about how YouTube started streaming and the stream goes out. My day is going good. Thank you for asking, Matt Harley. Yeah. I know, it looks terrible. The quality is trash. Thanks for saying I look horrible. Not the quality, just that I look horrible. I appreciate that. That's
good. That's good. Alright. So, I think we got that. And I'm probably double audioing right now. So, there. And we're back. Okay. Close that one. You know what? I'm going to leave that open. This way it's a quicker swap right over to it. So, that's fine. God, the jump. And I used to think that camera was good. I used to think that camera quality was like, yeah, that'll be good for streams. It says it's a 4K HD webcam. Ooh, no, it's awful. Yeah. Since I discovered you, I bought a Sidewinder X1 and then a 3 Pro to make my Mark 7 and became one of the first blind? You're blind? 3D makers? Okay. It is awesome that you are doing that. It's not awesome that you're blind. I'm sorry. I was about to say, like, that's awesome. No. But clearly it's not stopping you, so that's amazing, dude. Wow. That's really sick. I'm looking to get a bigger printer to print helmets and chest pieces. Which printer should I choose in the Creality family? If you want to print helmets, a CR10S. This right here is what started it all. This is the glass bed to my CR10S. It's terrible. It's actually warped. You can even see it. It's bowed so much you can actually even see it. But this is the build plate surface. And as you can see, it can fit a helmet on it. One shot. This helmet is scaled down, but it is a big build surface. Any CR10S variant. Do not get a CR10. They are starting to show their age, and they immediately need some upgrades out of the box. That's what the CR10S is. It has a dual drive Z-rod axis. So the gantry moves up and down a little bit better. If you can afford it, get the V2. If you can really, really, really afford it, get the V2 Pro, or the Pro V2. CR10S Pro V2. It is an amazing out-of-box printer. BL Touch, auto level, you will not have a problem with that. It is a great size. If you want to go even bigger, an Ender 5 Plus, and then even bigger from there, CR10 Max. So, a CR10S would be my baseline. You can get them for like $400 now. The prices come down a lot. And if you already have a printer, Marsh thing, it seems like you do, you could look used. I would never recommend a used printer to anybody starting out, but if you already understand Creality printers, if you've done repairs on your Ender, you will be more than fine potentially troubleshooting a used printer. There's not many parts to them, as you know. Only a couple things can go wrong. A firmware flash and tightening some bolts can do wonders. So, look into that. Finally got a good red coat for my Mark 85 and now clear. Oh, hell yeah, bomb build props. That's awesome. What's up, my dude? What's up, Superman? First printer was the CR10 Mini and still using it. I see a lot of people use the Minis for quite a while. That's actually pretty impressive. What's the red helmet on the desk? Oh, you must have missed the opening of this before I lost. Yep. Kelly, you'd either get really drunk or only take one shot. It's either a hit or miss. It's constant or it's a one-done thing. And if you're super patient, a CR30 belt printer whenever it comes out. I don't know about that belt printer. That's more for mass production. But to each his own. So this is the helmet on the desk. Oh, I can take that off now, finally. Yeah, we're gonna peel that off. Isn't that cool? This color is perfect. I was so floored. So, let's start at, in a second I'm going to pull up the questions I have on my phone, and we're going to start addressing some things. So, this video should be coming out this week on how to build this thing. Where is it? There it is. Haha. It lights up. And you wear it. Yep. Kind of cool. This was a very easy build, but only for the fact that I have a very large printer. I was able to print the helmet in one shot. The helmet really would barely fit on an Ender 5 Plus. I wish I had scaled that up too, but it's whatever. Do you think about including sound effects in your Mark 85 or Star Wars? So Mark 85, no. I'm not a big fan of the sound effects that go into these suits. It's just my personal preference. You do you. The only ones I might ever do in the Mark 85, if I was to do it, if I was to go and convert it to a digital programmable system instead of the analog system I'm running, maybe the repulsor charging noise and maybe the face mask noise. I would not do the walking veering noise because the Mark 85 is not mechanically powered. It never made that noise. But Star Boost, I might get a little crazy with. I want to do some fun things with Star Boost, so possibly. I'm still printing parts to upgrade an old grabber to my CR10S. One shot of sword came up. Well, and now I'm looking for a used Creality printer on eBay. Whoops. My second Creality printer, my second CR10S, I got it for $200 on Marketplace. Hey, this dude said he quit the hobby. He couldn't get it to work. Everybody was trying to talk him into it. He had clearly already made up his mind. So instead of me trying to convince him, no man, stay in the hobby, I was messaging him like, hey man, I'll take it. And I got it. Why can't we get a 3D printer that does a full helmet in 10 hours, not 3 days? Because of settings and because it is a new emerging technology. Don't be greedy yet. And again, can't thank you enough for all the advice, tips, and tutorials from you. Never would. Hey, no problem, dude. Does the acrylic bend as easy as the LED eyes? You need to heat it up more. It's not acrylic, it's plexiglass. It's a very different, it melts, it does the same thing. It's just, this is plexiglass. Plexiglass needs more heat, but it doesn't disfigure and melt as easily. But yeah, it worked out very well. A very quick rundown, because I do not want to harp on this. This is for beginners. This is what I did. I printed the visor in solid. This fits directly in the helmet. Then I traced it onto a piece of paper. Then I traced that piece of paper onto the plexiglass and cut the plexiglass out. And then I superheated the plexiglass with a heat gun. A blow dryer will not get hot enough. And then I laid it onto the mold and used it as a mold to form it around. And then I took the plexiglass and it fit perfectly like a glove. Science. That's what the tutorial will be about. So you just got a little crash course in it. And there's a couple ways you can cut plexiglass. You can cut it with a Dremel. I have a scribing tool, and that's all in the tutorial. So that'll be a fun video. Yep. Says the person who doesn't mass produce Mark 85. I kind of do. It's a small printer. It's not a big. What 3D printer do you use? Are you talking to me, Rick Sanchez? You are hot. You can't spell, Kayla. Didn't also draw that. Would you ever consider making a suit of armor from a resin printer? Love the channel. Bruiser, no. Resin, I see some people, I see one person, they are starting to make a Mark 85 with resin. That's expensive. That is expensive. Resin is pretty strong, but that's heavy. I don't see the benefit of it. Now, if those resin prints were coming out so much better than what I could get my Mark 85 FDM printer to look, I would say yes, make the jump. But most Iron Man suits aren't that high detail where you need a resin printer to make this stuff. All it's going to do in the back end is save you sanding time. That's about it. Now, suits like the Mark III, the Mark VII, that have a lot of internal parts and flaps, and you can see wires and pistons and all this, a resin printer might actually benefit you there. That'd be kind of nice to have that detail. Like the Mark III files, the new Mark III files from DO3D, I just recently got them, and there's details and pipes all in the back of the leg, and it looks awesome. And I am worried about printing those on an FDM printer. It'll just take a little bit longer. A resin printer would knock those out of the park, but yeah. Whew. Come that color or dyed? What are you talking about? This sixth Sid. How many Mark 85 helmets have you made? I'm in the 30s now, I think. What 3D printer do I recommend? There's a difference. Because I have 6 printers. What do you want to print, Rick Sanchez? What are you looking to make? Are you looking to make, is this the biggest thing you're going to make? A helmet? Maybe. Or are you looking to make things like this and bigger? Because that drastically changes my recommendation. I plan to get a resin printer soon, only to print small parts and potentially lose lots of detail within it. That's a reason, exactly. If I had a resin printer, I'd be doing the arc reactor, maybe the fingers, just little details and stuff. Quite a basic one, but do you have any advice to make a helmet or a suit in which you can breathe easily and not die during invention? No, there is no way around that.
It did it again, but I caught it this time. Yep. So while I try to get this, I can answer that question. There is a special suit that a company sells. I think it's like $3 or $4 grand. It is expensive, and it is a cosplay cooling suit, and it has liquid cooled channels, and you put ice in it in like a backpack, and it's like a camelback, and it runs water in veins around the suit, and it helps cool you. It mostly cools down your core, but it is expensive, and then you need to consider fitting that into the suit. Aside from that, cooling fans are a good option, but they only do so much because even if the air around you is warm, it's not going to do a great job cooling. It might get you airflow. I've seen people use cooling fans in helmets to stop them from fogging up, but when you start getting into full plastic suits of armor, it's going to get hot. It's very hard to avoid that. Yeah, sorry. I know that's probably not the answer you wanted, but hey, that's kind of the nature of the things. What undersuit do I use? It's a red morph suit. It's a red lycra suit. It almost looks like a Power Ranger with absolutely no color. Quick, everybody take a shot. Shut up, Rem. Reflexes. I have an under 3 Pro. Should I continue with my Iron Man build or wait till I can upgrade my CR10 to a CR10? Vanilla Wombat. Interesting name. I would upgrade. So with an Ender 3 Pro, you can make a hand. Make the glove. Let me go grab something. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this back. Try one more time. Why are you the way that you are? And go. Oh, actually, I just lost USB connectivity. That was a new one. That's interesting. I swear this never happens. Huh? You can do it. Oh yeah, you're on 2 shots, by the way, in case for anybody wondering. Cool. So what you can do to start getting ready, and we're back. Here we go. Luma White. Hi.
Ditch the audio again.
Pretty
bad today. I'm sorry,
guys.
I am. That's really annoying. Thank you for hanging out. You can start making things like gloves. The first thing I recommend to anybody who's going to start making an Iron Man suit, make a helmet, because they're not that complicated. It's 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 parts, depending on the model you get. You can make a helmet on an Ender. I have a video for that too. Make a helmet, put it together, see how you like it. Does it fit? Does it look okay? Did you paint it okay? Then make a hand, make a glove. This is going to be one of the hardest things you make. Scaling and sizing the fingers, getting them to attach with elastic or whatever. This will be one of the more complicated parts of the suit. Then, if you're like, damn, I was able to make this and this actually works and looks pretty good, you can even print a forearm. You can cut the forearm in half, depending on how big it is, and make this on an Ender 3 Pro. You can make an arc reactor. You can do some of the small details. All of these fingers were printed on an Ender, and it works just fine. So start small. I always recommend people start with a hand, make a forearm, because then you have something like this, make a bicep, make both arms, and then you make the chest. Move in and then move down, because you have more to show for it. When you start, I've noticed when people start with like feet or shoes or the legs, they they get frustrated and they kind of quit because scaling legs is very difficult. So work on scaling the arms first because they're a lot more forgiving. How everything fits, it's a lot more comforting and stuff. So start there. I'm getting very quick at that because it's very annoying. I'm sorry. What's your go-to infill to balance strength versus print time? I float. Oh, what's up, Marshall? Is that you? Like, is that you, man? Yeah, I recognize the profile picture. What's up, man? My go-to infill, I float between 5 and 10% gyroid infill. However, the entire Mark 85 suit was printed on a quarter cubic infill because gyroid infill didn't exist in Cura yet when I printed it. Now, everything I print is gyroid infill, and it's really cool, and it has a much better weight distribution. It is the ideal 3D printer infill because the way it spirals up, a 5% gyroid infill is almost equivalent to about a 20 to 30% cubic infill or triangular infill. That's the way the weight distribution works. So you need to have a special ventilation if you have a resin printer. Yes, you do. Kind of. Usually it's self-contained, but resin printing, it adds a couple other hurdles of chemicals. It's a tinted film. I missed a question, I think. A helmet. All right, Rick Sanchez. We'll get back to that one. Sorry, man. I see you up there. Shout out also, I just remembered, to Bruno Ibanez and his kids. I wanted to say hi and thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll catch this. Either you're watching it now or you'll catch it on the flip side. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Your dad messages me a lot, and he tells me you guys really enjoy the videos, and I really appreciate those messages. It's really cool that you guys look forward to it as a family in that sense, and it's humbling, and like it's the reason I do this. So thank you, and I hope you guys get to see this. All right, back to questions. Let's see. I'm about to go into no shots for me. Yes and no. It kind of depends on your resin. At some point, the fumes in touch more dangerous than normal printing since normal printers have fumes too. Yes, if you're printing in like ABS fumes. I couldn't print the DO3D Mark 7 palm file. Do you have the same problem, or what glove did you pick? So I don't use. This is the Mark 6 hand from Thingiverse. It's a freehand. It's very low poly. I am in the process of making a new one. I was able to sand down some of the poly lines. You can still kind of see them. The fingers have ridges to them, so I am clean. This was, like I said, one of the first things I printed. I hate the hands on this suit. They are bad. They are my worst print. They are the worst thing on this suit. But I like how they fit. And I'll show you. I'll pull these off real quick. Ow. Oh, what's up, Dominic? Welcome to the stream. You made it. What's up, dude? Hey, Rob. So, this is why I like the freehand. And you can do this with any hand file. You could cut it. But this is one solid piece, and I can just slip my hand right into it. That's it. No magnets, no clips. It doesn't fold. It doesn't, nothing. One solid hand piece. And it's just the back cut out, just enough for my hand to slip in. Now, the file does come with a cover, but I have a hand topper, so I don't need the cover, and it just makes it that much easier. And then there's a little elastic buckle and a clip, and it just slides in. Because I've seen people attach the hand toppers to the forearm, and then it looks weird. But what this does is it allows me to have that movement and the dexterity, and then there's foam right here, so everything slides back. And it looks a lot more natural. I was actually about to try to put that on like that. That won't happen. Yep. Oh yeah, that crown is staying there. So it's a Kingdom Hearts crown, as you guys know. I'm talking really loud. I'm sorry, guys. I keep thinking the microphone's over there. It's right here. You guys can hear me just fine. Yeah, that crown is staying up there. So people kept hitting me with Fall Guys. I'm like, no, God, no. Got a lot of dumb responses on Instagram, but the one I did enjoy, besides Kingdom Hearts, some people did get it, was Fairly Odd Parents. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome, actually. And I'm not even mad you said that. So, yep. So now, with the hand there, it rocks back. And then this is usually a little farther down. So I have that movement and that motion and everything. It looks like it's attached to it, but it's not. So, and then there was another question. Victoria's PRG. That's why I recommend printing a helmet, and then you do the magnetic faceplate. I know I didn't invent it. I think I had a little bit to do with popularizing it. just with the magnetic clasps. Thank you, Rogue Gallery Fitness and Aaron, for turning me on to those magnets. But I think it's a good option if you don't want to worry about motorizing it. Still having it magnetic really does put you a little bit into having that effect. My next goal is to find a way to be able to do this, to pop it off magnetically and get it to stay on top. I think the Marvel Legends helmet does that. And then what you can do from there is not motorize it, but have hinges. I've done that on a few helmets where I put a hinge system in there, but no motors. So it opens up and then it stays there and then it closes. And that again helps you work on positioning and arms and the whole lever action that's needed to motorize it. And then one day you can just go and add a motor. So you build up. I did not when I first started. I actually printed that Mark 85 helmet, that white one that's sitting that you can't see. It's like right there. And I immediately tried to motorize it. And I learned a lot of things. So what do we got? We didn't lose the stream, did we? Oh no. Oh no. I'll be very sad. Nope. All right, yeah, we're still going. What's my, check that. Okay. Yeah, we're still going. Sweet. What do you think about special PLAs like metal for big prints, like a helmet or a shield? That gets expensive quick, and usually those exotic materials, the nylons, the metal fill, the carbon fiber fill, they wreak havoc on your nozzles, and you usually need some upgrades, some hot. My question is to that, what is the benefit of that? Are you going to be using this shield for war? Are you going to combat with this thing? Is it a display? Is it a prop? Is it for cosplay? Who's really going to know you used metal fill PLA for that shield that's going to sit on your wall? All you get to say is, I did that. That's it. And you could if you're trying to sell it, you could raise your price point saying it's made with better materials, but the person who makes it with cheaper materials and sells it for cheaper, they're going to win. Because again, it's kind of for display. So it really depends on what you're using it for. What's a good starting project? What are you a fan of? Are you a Marvel fan, a DC fan, a video game fan? Do you like, do you like Halo? Do you like Dungeons and Dragons? There's a lot of good starting projects. Will you make a Hulkbuster suit? Eventually, yes. I'm going to start saying that now, actually. Yes. What CAD software do you use? None. I don't design any of this. I have no idea how to 3D model. The only experience in 3D editing I have done with a 3D print is there was big sword I'm working on. There's a video for that. There was no channel through the handle for a metal rod, so I used Mesh Mixer to add one, and that was the first time I modified an STL file like that. I could see nylon if you need super strong parts, but Petri or PLA does pretty great. Yeah, nylon's fantastic. I would very much like to look into nylon one day, but PLA Plus and PETG, tasty. Bruno! Hey! I guess you just tuned in and missed my whole shout out to you. Hi, man. Hi to you. Hi to your children. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for messaging me on Instagram. Like I said, those words, the type of messages that you sent me, like, they keep me going, man. So thank you. How do you think mixing 3D printing and foam smithing would go? It'd go great. I know plenty of people who do it. They'll print parts of the suit. They'll do the cod piece and parts of the joints in foam. I know people with full foam suits and a 3D printed helmet. I know people with full 3D printed suits and a foam helmet. It's a mix. You can absolutely mix mediums. There is nobody should ever make fun of you for that. I like 3D printing. I prefer 3D printing. But I will never, if somebody came to me and they were like, hey man, I just made this foam suit, I'm not gonna be like, why didn't you just 3D print the whole thing? I know damn well why. You do you. About the metal, it may do your helmet sound better when closing, maybe less plastic, I think. Salim, it's not gonna affect the sound, because even the metal-filled PLA, the metal fill stuff, it's still kind of a plastic material. So it's not gonna really, it's not really gonna affect it. Where is my mic? Sorry, my wife is asking. Everything you touch picks up. Oh yeah, that's probably why. Let me flip this. We're gonna move this. Let's see how that goes. Let's see if that works a little bit better. Boo, 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 boo. You can print with yeah, it's a special type of nylon. It's a very special type of material. Have you experimented with using TPU for joints and other armor? I have printed TPU before. I wasn't a giant fan of it. So it's a give or take kind of situation. Hopefully this is better, the microphone. I'm getting some feedback. And yep. Oh, actually, I think I have this volume up to max. Hold on 1 second. Let me just adjust the decibels. Let's see how that is. Let's see if that's a little quieter. All right. Yes, it is a very difficult filament to print with. I'm a really big Marvel fan, but I don't know where to start. What did you make first? So, Mr. Sesame Seed, I got into this exclusively to make this suit. I planned on making this suit. So my end goal was this suit. So I got the printer, I printed a helmet. Well, sorry, I printed that keyblade first. This keyblade. And it's bad. I actually have an idea. I want to redo this keyblade. I want to print it now and new to see how much better I've got. Let me rip my first project apart to you guys. You're gonna enjoy this. So this is my first big 3D printed project right here. Keyblade. Yep. Now, at a distance, it looks okay. All right. It was printed in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is a PVC pipe. This was designed into the file. You buy a standard PVC pipe, cut it to length, and it slots in. Now, if we look a little closer, you can start to see the filling is bad. You can see a lot of the seams. The paint is terrible. This broke. This is all trash. I didn't clean the supports out. The paint ran. There's wasted broken supports here. I didn't clean up the inside here at all. This all looks like garbage. This is really bad tape, grip tape. This is electrical tape. This all looks like dookie down here. The best thing on this is the dang Mickey emblem. This came out really nice. So this was like my first big project, a multi-piece, multi-print, form-fit kind of thing. And I like it. I think it came out nice for what I could do. I can do much better than this now. So I think I want to start I think I'm going to print. I have these files still. I'm going to reprint the whole thing and see how much nicer I can make this. That'll be a cool video, updating my first 3D print, something along those lines. So, yeah, it's tricky. There are a lot of cool files. If you go to my Instagram, occasionally I post the pictures about them, and you can print all the Infinity Stone holders. That's a project I'm working on right now, where it's the Orb, the Eye of Agamotto, Loki's Scepter, the Aether. Yeah. Did I say the Power Warp? I think I said the Power Warp. But you can get really small prints. Just, dude, browse Thingiverse, man. I'll tell you that. Mr. Sesame Seed, just hop on Thingiverse, man, and just think of nerd stuff. I just found a couple files last night that I'm like, oh, wow. The compass from Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow's compass. I just printed that. Like, just little dumb things. Start doing multi-print projects and see how well you can make them look. And then you slowly start building up. Yep. Hello, 3D Jeff. If anyone's looking for 3D files and lots of inspiration for Halo stuff, I think the 504th Imagery Division, it's a Halo prop and cosplay group. Oh, that's pretty cool. Thank you for linking that. Ever tried carbon fiber mix? No, I have not. You probably answered before, but how long do you reckon you spend sanding a Mark 85? Alex Field, are you talking about the helmet or the suit? There's a big difference. Hi, Marco. All right, well, I have to catch up on your tips later. I got to get ready. Have fun. Take it easy, Mega. Funny how to the viewer it's a work of art, but the maker it's nothing but mistakes. You're right. How do you mitigate your filament not feeding into the extruder? Mine keeps getting underlapped, and I have to babysit the spool constantly. Matt Lopez, are you talking about your filament getting tangled? I recently discovered that the Mark 39 helmet is difficult to motorize due to the odd shape of the faceplate. It's hard to put the hinges on the interior without making it too crowded for someone's head. I'm going to look into that. So I'm going to be making the Tesseract housing unit. Some might say the suit was his end game. Haha. Thanks, Dan Curry. You're hilarious. In my opinion, it's just more convenient to use magnets for the Mark 39. I'm going to have one solid helmet and then one motorized helmet for the Mark 39. The same. Actually, funny story. I realized this last night on Twitch. The two helmets I have sitting right here, these are going to be my new Mark 85 helmets. This is my new photo shoot helmet. This is going to be my new, this is the V5 from Akira Yume. He updated the lights, he lengthened it a little bit, and he actually did something really cool inside the faceplate that you guys will probably see in a video. So this helmet is going to replace this helmet right here. This is a photo shoot only helmet. It's magnetized, not motorized. It is as tight as possible to fit on my head. Here, I can actually show you how tight this one is. It's actually pretty insane. See how form-fitting that is? There's no movement at all in this thing. It's pretty good. So this is like, I actually have to pull this off. It's actually that tight. So this is perfect. This is at 94%. He scaled down the stock model, because that helmet is at 94% too. That's the V4, and this is smaller. So he did modify the stock files and made them a little bit tinier. So that's cool. And then I have a motorized helmet. This one, this is gonna be my Comic-Con helmet. This is 96%, and it's just big enough for me to wear it and fit the motors. And it's actually, this is actually motorized. I still have to do a little bit of adjustments in regards to the positioning of the helper arms, but for the most part, it does work. It's just a little finicky. Yep. It just doesn't lock in the right way sometimes. See, and it works. It works pretty nicely, actually. It'll sit a little bit farther back like that, and then it works. It's probably really loud on the mic, sorry. And even still, this helmet's still as tight as possible and fits a servo. I did a lot of trial and error in scaling to get that the right size. Because again, I was trying to avoid any type of bobblehead effect. And it'll look all right. I'm happy, I'm proud of it. All right. Tesseract, in my opinion, this is more convenient. What do you do? What do you do if you need a 3D model that isn't available anywhere? Do I hire someone to create a model for me? So do you have any recommendations for models? I do have a couple recommendations for models, but they are limited in their abilities. They specialize in different things. The modeler who made my Stormbreaker and my Mjolnir, Quentin Esp, he's very good with detailed props like this. So you could reach out to him, but it's all up to his discretion if he wants to take on that job. If you go to CG Trader and browse models, you can typically hire most of those modelers. There's an option right there on their page, hire me, and you can click that and submit a quote. You can get a quote from them and do this, but then you have to remember they can then sell that model. It won't be your 3D model, it'll be theirs. And then, so if you're trying to get something exclusive made that you don't want anybody else to have, you need to say that, and then they're probably gonna charge more. So yeah, browse CG Trader. Alex Field, how long do you reckon you spend sanding the Mark 85? It takes me about, from print to prime, this helmet right here, 10 minutes maybe. And this one had bad layer lines. My printers had a conniption fit on this one. So I'm probably gonna need to hit this with an actual layer of like filler primer. I had some under extrusion right there. This is like the worst helmet, Mark 85 helmet I've printed in a while, and my printers just weren't having it. So typically about 10 minutes though. Screw all that wet sanding noise. Pass. Not tangle exactly, just getting too tight to feed. That's more of a spool. That's more of a quality control issue with the spool. You might have to unwind it all and wind it back up on an empty spool, but that's a lot looser. You spoke about Rust-Oleum for many helmets in your videos. What color should I use to be as realistic as possible? That depends on where you are, man, and that depends on what color you want to go for. The Mark 85 is, there's no other suit the color of the Mark 85. There's no other suit the color of the Mark 50. The Mark 45 is a very unique color. It depends on what iron, you have to do a lot of testing. I cannot give you recommendations for that because are you spray painting? Are you airbrushing? Are you using an HVP gun? Are you using, how are you painting it? And you have to do testing. There's no one shot answer, end all be all color. You have to test it. How did you build the Mark 85? I 3D printed it, Marco. Buying the CG Trader helmet after I get paid on Friday. Really looking forward to printing it. No problem, Matt. What's going on, the astronaut? Astronaut. I like that. What's the one best piece of advice you've been given when it comes to building making? From Dan Curry. That's a good question. I don't want to give you some BS answer. Let me think about that, actually. What's the best advice I've been given? That's a tough one. Wow, you actually got me stumped. Thanks, man. It's going to seem very generic, but sometimes you just need to hear it again. And I've heard it from a few people. Don't care what anybody else thinks. You're the one who has to look at it every day. And what they meant by that was I could sit here and pick all of my projects apart, every single one of them. I just think I recently just made one of my first projects where there's nothing I would actually fix on it right out the gate. But you're the one who needs to look at it. Are you okay with it? Don't care what people on the internet think. Don't care what, hey man, what do you think about this paint job? Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, you can ask those questions. That's fine. We all want feedback. We all want that critique and that criticism. You know, that's why we have social media. We post these things. But don't put so much stock in what other people think over what you think. If it's good enough for you, then it's good enough. If you're like, this paint job, yeah, I can live with this. And if somebody's like, man, that paint job sucks, screw them. Tell them to shut the F up. Like, if you're okay with it, be okay with it. Now, there's nothing saying you can't look at a project and be like, I want to do this better. That's literally where that'll damage Mark. That is my best helmet ever right there. And I made that because I saw somebody else's work on one of the Iron Man builders, and his paint job was insane. And it made me feel and realize, like, I can do better. Like, I want to do better than this. And it was a jealousy thing, and I'll admit that to anybody. I was jealous. It made me mad. I looked at that helmet in that post, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, somebody painted that? Somebody made that out of, like, it blew my stuff out of the water. And I didn't sit there picking it apart. Oh, well, he probably had the best paints, and he probably had an airbrush, and he probably... No, don't do that. Don't justify and bring them down. Bring yourself up. What can you do to reach that level? And I went to work on this helmet. I haven't even showed this thing on YouTube. We're going to get this. We're going to talk about this puppy. This isn't even oil washed yet. I'm still weathering this. It's only damaged and slightly scuffed. But this is my best Mark 85 helmet with a candy paint job. You could read the text chat if you wanted to right now. Yeah. Oh yeah. This came out beautiful. And this came from me seeing somebody else's work and being like, I want that. I want to push myself. And this is where I landed. So jealousy can also be a good thing. And it was. You could say, oh, I'm envious. It's a form of jealousy, but it's how you handle that. Are you going to drag them down, or are you going to try to catch up? So you can go two different ways with it. Good question, Dan Curry. God, thank you for that one. Really, thank you for that one. Can you briefly remind everyone to level their beds? Don't level your bed. Stop saying level your bed. We need to get out of that. We need to stop as a 3D printing community saying that, because it's wrong. You are not leveling your bed. You are trimming your bed. You are balancing your bed and squaring it to the print head. I have literally seen people have bubble levels on their bed. Now think about that for a second. They were literally leveling their bed. It is not the term we should be using. Trimming or squaring the bed up to the print head. You could take a 3D printer, hold it upside down, and it should still work.
We're back. I think I missed that one. I didn't get that one in time. I'm sorry. This is bad today. What is going on with my camera? That maybe it has something to do with that. Could you show the Mark 1 helmet? Want to make one myself. Hold on. I will grab it, and hopefully by the time I get back, I can reload the camera. I don't know, man. 3 times? Take a shot. Hi, Catherine Stone. Love your videos. Just started printing mine. If I could get a shout out, why would? Yes, of course. I'm sorry, it's on my subpar camera currently. We're having some technical difficulties, and tech support is not here. So, yeah, welcome to the channel. I'm assuming you just found the channel. How did you dent the helmet? Weberich. That dent? No, hold on. No, I don't even want to waste that helmet on this crappy camera. So please give me 1 second to try to alleviate this. It deserves better. It deserves way better. It froze in a really funny way. That's pretty good. We're back.
Killing me, Smalls. Killing me. I'm sorry. All right. How did you do the dent? That dent. Let me get out of studio mode so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. There it is. All right. That dent. Right there. That. I took a heat gun. I stuck it under the faceplate, heated up the plastic, and pushed it in with my knuckle. I just did that. That's it. The same way I did that dent right there. And there's a little guy right there. This one's actually probably the best one. That's a perfect dent. And then you want to see what it looks like on the inside? It's actually kind of funny. That's the inside. It just pushed it in. See? Yeah, I'm very proud of this helmet. I still need to oil wash and weather it. But this candy paint is beautiful.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. Oh. Perfect image to freeze on. Paralleling the bed. Yeah. Audio just plummeted in quality. Need some positive encouragement as I just want to quit trying to motorize this helmet. Dominic, let it go for a week. Put it down and just walk away for a week. I promise you. Just move on to something else and come back to it. You're over stressing it, and if you take a little break from it, you'll come back and you'll get it like that. Alex, that's why I got my PLA sanding tutorial. Do you have any advice for sticking with one project to then end with when your brain wants to start a new one? I cannot give you any advice on that, Marshall, because I have like 20 projects in work right now, and I'm not the advocate for that. It's bad. It's bad. Hey, I've been having trouble printing anything without a raft with PLA. I've made a post in the Iron Legion Discord. Any ideas? Zoom Films. Do you have what printer do you have? And do you have a stock glass bed? A clear stock bed like this? Get back to me. Chris, that was my biggest fear. I would have cried. I had an exfil plan. I had a straight emergency evac plan because I had this camera running. I did it in that's why I'm getting faster at it, because I did some trial runs. Like, all right, the camera cuts out, unplug, move, click, back. Like, I had it down to an art. I practiced it like 10 times. It was really funny. I would have freaked. Yeah, we're on shop 4, by the way. What number of sandpaper do you use? I use 60 grit on my electric palm sander and then I do a quick rub down with 200 grit by hand, and then I prime it. Ender 3 Pro with normal magnetic bed. So if you need to clean, did you, on your magnetic bed, did you put any adhesive? Did you put a glue stick, tape, anything? Or have you just been cleaning it normally? Yes, I've been practicing. We're gonna like hard reset my camera and just, I'm actually gonna uninstall it from OBS and just get rid of it real fast. And then we're gonna re-add the Sony camera. So we'll do that. Yeah, this is like a $150 camera link, and it gives me more problems than literally any piece of tech I have. Maybe my GoPro. My GoPro might be a close second, but the GoPro has different purposes. Video capture device, okay, and camcorder
link, and we're back. Wow, that is huge. God, that quality. Wow. Sorry. Yep. Here we are. You can just see me. I should have went into studio mode. Oops. There we go. All right, I think we're back. Yep. I just need to fix the window. Isn't this funny to watch live? Like just everything going wrong. It's great. But we learn and grow together. So we'll turn off the webcam and we're back. Please stop doing this. Why are you doing this? Why do you do things? All right. Bruno Ibanez, really zoomed in and double audio. Double audio is gone. I've noticed with the E3 Pro when I'm having adhesion issues to get the nozzle slightly closer to the bed, that or clean it with alcohol. Would you recommend a CR10S to someone looking to do a project like this? Yes. I built this entire suit on my CR10S. Do you prime and sand or just add primer and paint? Once I'm done priming, I evaluate how smooth that primer came out. I have recently started wet sanding after the primer stage. I now wet sand with 600 to 800 grit really quickly, and then I paint. It gets me better results. It's getting me better results. So I am slowly adding more steps into the process. Yeah, CR10S, this is it. I am using without adhesion, but when I made the post, someone suggested hairspray. All right, so the hairspray probably just ruined your magnetic bed. You need to clean that off. The magnetic bed needs to be spotless and oil and dust free. What the hairspray now did is it filled in all the micropores, and now there's dust and debris. So now you just made a porous, coarse surface that's meant for the PLA to stick to. Now it's smooth. So what you should need to do, go get your hands on some Goo Gone or Goof Off, the sticker remover spray. Take your whole magnetic bed, cover it in that stuff, and let it sit for like an hour. And then rinse it off. Use some Dawn dish soap, lay in a scrub brush, and scrub the whole magnetic bed. Clean it, dry it off, and it'll be the best adhesion you ever have. Get that bed clean. Please don't freeze again. Please. Oh, God. All right, we just hit our hour mark. So let's actually talk about some of the questions that I took screenshots of. So hold on. Here they are. Yeah, we got a bunch. Cool. Let's see. I love you 3000. I love you too. Whoever said that. What is the biggest mistake, the hardest thing to overcome in printing? Ooh. Musama Mood, 2004 from Instagram. Yeah. What is the biggest, hardest mistake? Thing to overcome in 3D printing. You ready? Listening to everybody else. Stop it. The biggest cause for 3D printing problems across the forums, across Facebook, even my channel. I've given out bad advice. What I say about sanding might not work for everybody. I understand that. Stop listening to everybody and stop taking somebody else's advice as sage advice. You need to stop. You need to test things yourself. Now you can get advice, you can get help with troubleshooting, but just because someone says this won't work, period, maybe do a little bit more research. I did that when I first started out. You need to get this upgrade. You need to do this. You need to modify your G-code. You need to calibrate your E-steps. You can't use power tools on PLA. I listen to everybody. If you want a smooth helmet, Get ready to sand your arms off. You're going to cover it in Bondo and sand for days. I wasn't testing things myself. And there was gut feelings and stuff, and there was issues that it arose from. If more people took the time to understand the printer and learn the printer itself as a piece of hardware. A lot of people get the printers and assume that it's an appliance. They assume it's a microwave. You plug it in and it just works. It doesn't. It is a tool. It is a machine. You are going to need to build it. You are going to need to calibrate it. You are going to need to learn it. Expecting it to just work, especially these entry-level Creality ones that are meant as a hobby, they need love. Now, once you start to understand them better for troubleshooting purposes, they work beautifully, and it's part of the process. So when you're starting out, put more stock in learning and then rather than listening, and stop asking for print profiles. My God. Yes, that's it. What nozzle do you use? Lock Vogel. I really like my 0.6 millimeter nozzles, even though my Ender 3 and my CR10 Max both have 0.4s on it right now. My biggest and my smallest printers have 0.4s. I might upgrade my Max to a 0.6 eventually. As a builder, you can never just have one project going on. I have at least 10 at a time. You mentioned starting with hand, specifically the Mark 6 free Thingiverse files. Do you remember the model or name? Just don't type in Mark 6 like that. Type in Mark the number 6. That's it. Just type in Mark 6. It'll pop up. It's a picture of like really close. It's just the repulsor. But download the whole suit files because there's better hand files in that. What paint do you use on your armor? Keegan Bond. This is all Rust-Oleum spray paint. Yeah. I spent a week calibrating my printer since even the color of the filament changes the parameters. Exactly. White PLA and black PLA print at 2 very different temperatures. Who knew? Okay, next question. What's your favorite cosplay and why? How do you model the helmet with the right dimensions for your head? Scaling. I don't. I print it until it fits. I print it at 100%, and then I see how it fits. Is it too tight? Is it too loose? Then I do some math. I can probably drop it down 2 or 3%. Then I do that, print, rinse, repeat. The Dave. Yes, the hands made by the Dave. Just trying to help narrow. Yes, that's it. Cool. Awesome. All right, let's see. What got you so interested in superheroes to make cosplay? That's not so much. If you guys want to know about, if enough people want to know about that, I'll talk real quick on that. But we'll move on from that because that isn't so much a noob question. That's just a me personal question. What is the total cost of making an Iron Man suit? Ooh, that's a good one. Illinois strikes. Hundreds to thousands. It depends on what you do. My suit in total, excluding the 3D printer, the files were about 150. They vary between 100 to 200. The files are about 150. I spent about 170 on spray paint. I have it all right in my closet, actually. Every can I used on my Mark 85 is sitting right there in my closet. I used about 15 rolls of PLA, including reprints, failures, supports, tree supports, everything. And I didn't have a lot of failures, surprisingly. I did do, I reprinted the apps 3 times. I won't talk about it. Electronics, servos, this is a very rough estimate. Buckles, straps, everything else besides the plastic, basically. About $100 to $200. It's a very wide range because it's very hard to keep track of everything on Amazon and eBay and stuff I already had. Now, with that said, it's about $600 to $700 for mine. But I know people who spend a lot more money on paint. I use spray paint. Some people use professional automotive grade paint that looks insane. Rogues Gallery Fitness, their Mark 49 with that beautiful blue, amazing paint job, that paint was very expensive, but the results show. So their cost of their suit is much higher than mine, and it varies. So that was a good question. I'm glad somebody asked that. Yes. What slicer do you use? WebRich. In what regards? What slicing program do I use to actually make the 3D prints? I use Cura. Actually cutting parts apart, I float between Slicer and Mesh Mixer. Maybe I missed it, but does your damaged helmet faceplate come off? Caught it. Yes. Yes, it does. I can wear this. This is wearable. Boop. Yeah. Think fits. If it fits, it ships. Chill out, Samus. You're okay. All right, what else? What else? What else? What else? Could you make Potts rescue armor? Nah, maybe. Have you seen the classic Tony Stark armor? Yes, I have. It's pretty cool, actually. I'm gonna take a sip of water. I've been talking a lot. Yes. Cool. I'd make a great pepper. I know. I know. I have Gwyneth Paltrow's features. Let's see. What else? What materials and work time? That's kind of vague. What is the material used? You guys know that. How many failed projects have you had? I've never had a failed project. I've had plenty of failed prints. It's part of the game. You can't. It's unavoidable, unfortunately. You will have print failures. I will say probably 95% of my print failures are self-induced. I am covered in dog fur and lint. Oh my god, you guys are letting me be on YouTube like this? No one said anything? Yeah, I had failed prints all the time. Here's a fun snafu. Here, get this. I got two. Here we go. Where is it? Where are you? Hey. I have two failed projects right here. I printed my Buster Sword at 90% scale. Unfortunately, when I put one of the pieces into the program, I didn't scale it down. So I printed part of the Buster Sword at 100% scale. I don't want to throw this out. This was a lot of plastic, and it came out really nice, actually. It's actually really smooth. So I think what I'm going to do is one day I'll reprint the rest of the 100% Buster Sword. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but that's there. This is the Hammerhead to Stormbreaker. And as you can see right there, we got a nice little layer shift. I printed like this, and it did a filament change, and my Max just wasn't having a good time, and I had a layer shift. So this part's kind of ruined. I'm going to see if somebody wants it. I don't know what to do with it. And it was coming out so smooth. I primed it. Oh my god. Yeah. Failed prints happen, man. It sucks. It sucks. If not, you won't learn. Exactly, Bruno. Exactly. What infill percent do you usually use for the helmet in particular? Pascal Fusco. For helmets, I use about 5% gyroid infill. That's usually what I like to go. Is there a non-Iron Man armor suit you'd ever be interested in making? Yes. It is actually the Keyblade armor from Kingdom Hearts. The Keyblade Master armor that Ventus, Aqua, and Terra have. I think those suits are amazing. Master Xehanort's armor is actually pretty dope too. Water? Yes, water, believe it or not. Any projects that you considered starting? There's plenty of projects I considered starting and we're just like, nah, now pass. But yeah. Why won't my PLA stick? Did you level your bed? Is your bed clean? Yep. Oh god, this Iron Man chat is blowing up. Sorry. Yeah, that's always the big issue I run into. Decent prints with no purpose. Don't want to throw them away, but have no use. Yeah. Hey Frank, just remember the time that you were streaming on Twitch and Maya wanted to be a lapdog for about 30 seconds. Yes, I do remember that. If you ever find Terra's armor, hook me up. See, I think you're tall enough you could do Terra, and I could probably do Ven. I would have to wear lifter shoes. Yep. Do you use another filament size PLA? I just use PLA Plus. That's it. Will you upgrade this video after the stream? Will you upgrade this? What do you mean upgrade this video? I'm not tracking what you mean. And sometimes prints fail because your wife accidentally cuts the power to the printers. Sometimes it happens. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Worst things have happened. Yes. Okay. Where we at? Questions. How do you when you print the suit, you have to adjust the measurements to yours or just leave it as is? I think we've talked about scaling. I think most of you guys I think most of you guys understand scaling in that aspect on what's required and how I do it. I think I don't want to beat that dead horse. I think Iron Man Classic from the comics. I would love to talk about how to line and tidy up the cables. Hey, Rem, what's up, dude? Any recommendations for spray paints that emulate a steel look that are easy to find in the UK? None. It's very hard. How much filament to print an Iron Man helmet? Oh, that's a good one. We'll do you. We'll take here. This guy. This little guy. This is half a roll of PLA. When I started out, I was using almost an entire roll, if not more, to print a full helmet. Yeah. So, was watching a video of yours, updated cure, and tried. Hey. So, yes, this helmet about. They're the three colors of it: gold, silver, and black. But now I can get two helmets out of one roll with proper support blocking, infill, density, all that. One thing that can save a lot of material too is changing your support infill density to 1%. Usually it's like 20. You don't need it that high. Yeah, this video, all my live videos are available. They post immediately when the stream's done. They're all available for future viewing, for your viewing pleasure. How do you wire the repulsors? That's kind of a long question. Can you give some pointers to start 3D printing? What are the dimensions for your printers? I'll do the first part of that. Pointers to start 3D printing. Okay. So you saw that thing online that you want to make. You saw that movie. You saw that armor. You saw that butter robot. Do your research. So go out there, see who else is making this stuff. You need to decide if you've already settled on 3D printing. It's not like a cosplay thing where you're like, maybe foam, maybe Pepicura, maybe paper.
We're back. I caught that before anybody commented in the chat, so that was good. It's really bad today. It's really bad today. Yeah. Odd. Very odd. I think I need to I think I need to wipe and reset my whole computer. Yep. 3D printing pointer. Keep what you want to build in mind. I didn't buy an Ender 3 for my first printer because I knew the build volume was too small. Chris, exactly. Exactly, man. That's a very good point, and you need to very much consider. You need to do your research. You need to find out what do you want to make, the sizes. Ask for advice. Live streams like this, I think, are very valuable if you're trying to start out. If you're looking for that pointer, where to begin, because you can read things online, but in a live form like this, in a live stream. Oh, take it easy, Mark, and take it easy, Danny. Yes. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Where'd the train go? And you get tons of instant feedback. So live streams help. Talk groups, forums. Get that information from people. Because what there's already things in my earlier videos that I recommended that I otherwise wouldn't recommend now. Like what, a CR10S is good, but that Ember 5 Plus is pretty good. I wish I had seen that ahead of time. So things change, and you kind of have to look around. You kind of really have to do the research. But if you're hesitant about it, start off small. Get an Ender 3. See if you even like the hobby. Print small things. See if it's something that you're even capable of doing, because it's not for everybody. I don't want to gatekeep. I don't want to sit here and say, it's too hard for you. You can't. You can't. No, anybody can do this. It's a matter of commitment and drive and wanting it. It will come naturally quicker to some people. There is no way around that. Some people are more mechanically inclined than others, and
and we're back. I picked this hobby. I think I'm one of the worst people to try to emulate and use it as an example in that case, and I'm aware of that. It's the illusion of success. And if you want a very good video on exactly what I'm talking about, go to Veritasium, go to his channel, and I literally, hold on, I want to find this video because you guys need to watch it. I think it is actually that important of a video, and it painted a lot of pictures for me. Veritasium, and then success. Is success luck or hard work? And I'm gonna actually drop this in the chat. I want you guys to watch this video. Right there, okay. And he talks, in a nutshell, he talks about, you know, the people who are successful, and it is a very humbling video. The people who are successful, they sit there and preach their success. You know, I was hard work and dedication, and it got me here. And then I did this, and I had a great portfolio, and I went and I killed that interview. But what about that guy who did everything you did and went to that same interview or that same audition, but the interviewer was just having a bad day, so you didn't get it? Now, was that luck? That was timing, because you had all the same credentials, but you got him on a good day, and maybe he just wasn't having, he didn't listen to you. He didn't look that hard at your resume. So that's not hard work. Right there, that instance that brought you up turns into a luck of the draw. Turns out, he'll talk about in this video, which I found mind-boggling, was, most successful NHL hockey players were born in January because... And they dedicate it to hard work, and, you know, I have that drive. You know, look at these kids, they're great. Turns out they were born in a lot of areas of the country. I'm pretty sure it was January. They were born earlier, so in the school year, as you grow through the years, when these kids joined the hockey team, they had almost a year of growth on the kids who were born closer to November and December. So they immediately had an advantage. They were bigger. They were better at the game at a younger age. So people put more stock into them. They looked like they had more talent, even though they were just older, but in the same grade. So now you start feeding these kids, you start taking care of them a little bit more because they're a little bit bigger. You just don't notice it. Wow, he's really good at hockey. We're going to train him. He's going to get more train. He's going to get more time on the rink. He's going to get a lot more focus, because he actually is just a little bit bigger because he happened to be born in January and he had more time to grow through the year. So there's this whole variable of situations where people climb and they want to preach that it was hard work, when a lot more of it than they think had to do with luck, just sheer dumb luck. And it is a very, very awesome video to watch. And just watch him in general. He's a great YouTuber. He is so smart. So I'm very mechanically inclined. I am good at this shit. I know I am. I love mechanics. I've been taking stuff apart my entire life. I like building things. The first time I got my CR10S, I literally took it apart the next day just to see how it ticked. And I was like, this all makes perfect sense, because that's just how my brain works. Now, some people are beautiful artists. Some people get mathematics. Like, you have a natural inclination to anything. This just happened to be mine. I already knew how to paint. I already knew how to do electronics. I already knew computers. So even though I only started back last July, I had a bunch of other skills that brought me a lot farther in this hobby quicker. If you want to get to the same spot, it's just going to take more work. That's all. That's all it's going to be. So, yeah. End rant. I missed some questions. Marsh, take it easy. Cool. If you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice for the Mark 85, what would it be? Matt, you know what that would be. Don't rush and fit the whole damn suit before you paint it. Yeah, it bit me in the ass. The only reason pretty much for me to buy a printer would be just to make helmets. That's enough of a reason, man. If you sell 1 or 2 helmets, you could pay for that entire printer like that. So I think the most important thing to learn is as much as possible about the machine and the process. 3D printing is all about learning. Exactly. I know for a fact that when I print this helmet, I know how to print all 3 pieces. I print the dome exactly like this. at a 70% overhang angle. Cura wants to put supports in there. I block those. I know for a fact my printer can handle this angle without supports. So the only supports I have on this helmet are literally where my fingers are. So this is a particular part I have mastered printing. The faceplate, I print it standing straight up. Wow, I'm gonna have to reprint this faceplate. I can hear it cracking. I print the faceplate standing up. I support block parts back here. I add supports down here, and I can print this standing straight up with minimal supports. The jaw, I lay it as flat as possible. I support block a little bit back here, and I add some supports in here. And then it wants to add supports and little spots in here. I block those out. So you learn. It's learning, it's learning, it's learning. Just because it works on the CG Trader jaw doesn't mean it's going to work on the Thingiverse jaw. So it's learning and being familiar. I print a lot of helmets. I have gotten good at this. But if I was to go and try to print a Mark 42 helmet, it would probably take me a while to get it anywhere near as efficient as printing this thing. Yeah, Matt, you didn't ask the question. Also, don't forget to join great communities like Frank's Discord, plug. I thought I'd give you that a break today. Is the Ender 3 a good printer for helmets? It is yes and no. It is a great printer, and if the biggest you are going to go is helmets, yes. But if you're going to be printing a lot of helmets, no. It's too small. You're going to be slicing up a lot of parts. You're better off getting some type of CR10 variant or just CR10S. Can you explain what type of adhesion is best suited for different types of armor pieces, i.e. raft, rim, skirts? Matt Lopez, that is a very loaded, tricky question. I call it print survivability, and I think that's something that people need to focus more on and learn when 3D printing. When you go into preview and you look at a part and you're like, that's not going to survive. Have you ever had Cura render a support, a super thin one-layer support that's like this tall, and you're looking at that, you're like, that's never going to make it? That's print survivability. That's looking at evaluating the preview, the sliced preview, and being like, that's never going to work. So every single part is different, and you need to evaluate it. Like, right now, I'm printing... Oh, here we go. I am in the process of printing a new Stormbreaker. Well, painting. It's already printed. All of these are tall, skinny parts. When I printed these, I used a big raft because I didn't want it wobbling. Now, these smaller parts, I didn't. I used a brim around here because they were tinier. So it's really part specific, and it's really knowing and understanding your printer. Now, if I had printed this on my Ender 5 Plus, I wouldn't have used a raft at all. There's no wobble. But I printed this on my CR10S, and the bed moves back and forth. There's going to be some wobble. Raft most of the times, I got to go. Looking forward to more streams. I wish you no more camera. Oh, I saw that one. Take it easy, Marsh. And let's see. So now I'm going to blame all my life failures on being born in November and being so much younger than everybody else in my grade. There you go. What is the biggest piece of advice for a starter who wants to make some props? Nikos Nachos. Dial in your printer. Smooth prints will cut down so much damn time on post-processing, on your details, and learn how to position your parts properly. Learn the slicer, learn adding, removing supports, learn the angles, and it'll cut down a lot of time on your whole process of building and printing. Question, what's the fastest and easiest way to scale the print? There is none. There is none. A lot of people want that golden ticket answer. There isn't one. If you're scaling armor, go to the Armored Garage and download Armored Smith. That's the best cosplay 3D printing scaling software out there. It lets you make a 3D avatar of yourself and then scale the parts on it. Age print in general, it depends on the print, man. You gotta have to do some test prints. It's tricky. While printing faceplate, lots of time. Tips didn't stick. Reason? There's a lot of reasons that could be. I float between tree supports and normal supports. It's very print specific. On the faceplates, I use normal supports because normal supports will actually fill in. A normal support will fill in the eyes. A tree support will try to support the eyes from the base plate. It'll grow up the front of the faceplate and it'll use more material. So I vary between, try them both. Slice it with, unclick it, go to tree supports, and then slice it again, and just compare them. Solid 40%? Oh man, that's a lot. That's thick. Can we know the reference about the crown on the Iron Man? I think I missed the moment you said it. You don't know what game that's from? I'm disappointed. I'm off. Got work in the morning. Thanks for the shots. Hey, no problem, man. Take it easy, Rem. Oh, yeah, S3D. Yeah. I see a lot of people moving away from S3D. Kira's... I don't know if S3D is worth the money anymore. Yeah, it's getting tricky. It's getting real... Water. Take it easy, Nick. The stream is winding down. People are starting to tune out, and I can actually check retention rates. What are we at? 43 viewers. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that. That's really awesome. With our peak being 54. Hey. I'm not bad. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this, guys. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Really. This is awesome. I have so much fun with all of this. Talking to you guys, meeting you guys, answering these questions. We haven't done one of these just Q&As in a while. How do you properly scale armor to fit? Water and not Coke Zero. It's a Kingdom Hearts crown, by the way. How do you properly scale armor to fit? Look into the program Armor Smith from the Armored Garage. Okay, they left because there's no Coke Zero. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. All right. Well, there's some last questions here we can kind of cover. Let me just check them. Okay. How do you control body heat? We've talked about that. How do you show off the electronics and the motorization of the cosplay? Any recommendations for spray paint? Or we talked about that. How much filament do you need to make an iron pulsers? Can you give us some printers? That kind of does it for a lot of these questions. A lot of them are pretty similar. You can only answer the same question so many times. So, didn't realize my helmet was partially through the Cura build plate. Now have a flat spot. Alex, I've done that before. I've done that where it's dropped through and you're like, damn. So yeah, that's been tips on getting a nice metallic paint job. I'm assuming, yeah, okay, job. What's a paint job? Metallic paint jobs are very tricky. Your surface needs to be very, very smooth. If you are making your helmet, if the surface has layer lines, if the surface has imperfections, the paint is not going to hide it. Metallic paint is going to actually make it stand out even more than it otherwise would. Wow, he really collided that mesh. That's wild. Sorry. And most metallic paints benefit from a gloss black base coat. That's actually what's completely... Stay. That's what's all over this helmet. There is a gloss black base coat under all of this, followed by chrome, followed by candy red paint. So metallics can be very tricky. Typically metallics are a type of candy paint. That's the best way to get typical metallic finishes that actually look like metal. And it is hard. It is a lot of trial and error. Yeah. Does somebody keep retracting his message? What's going on with there? Unless my mod's doing mod work, what's going on? Or are you retracting it? How does it take to build a helmet? How long does it take? I can have a helmet built in roughly 3 days. Print, sand, prime, paint, assemble, moderate electronics. About 3 days. Yes, prime then gloss paint. Yes, PJ. It's getting quiet in here, guys. Where's everybody going? Yeah, we are going to wind down soon and head out. So, Cool. For metallic, after the black, after the chrome, how heavy light is the final color layer? It depends on the color you want. This, I went really, really heavy with the red. Very heavy. Because it was coming out very light, and I needed to darken it up a lot. So this is a very heavy candy paint red. A lot of layers. And it made it darker and darker with each layer. Do you have any websites for ordering electronics and wires? Yes, Amazon and eBay. Hey, Michael Ferguson. Thank you. Really appreciate all the videos and tips, helping a lot. No problem, PJ. I'm so used to answering questions or just asking you stuff in previous streams. I'm just out of questions. There are a lot of questions answered through my previous streams. A lot of questions. I think I need to build a playlist that is just my live streams because I think they're harder to find in that instance. Can you go into the math you do when adjusting your prints when they don't fit to scale you printed? Kind of. Basically, it's guesstimations. So this helmet, yeah, we'll do this one. So this helmet was printed at 100% scale. That's a lot of room. Okay, about a finger's length. I can fit my hand in here. We'll go with a finger's depth, or almost two actually. I can fit like almost two, maybe my pinky, but okay. So then what I would do is measure this distance right here, whatever this distance is. Say this distance is 10 of something, okay? And then my finger right here, this is half of, say this is 10 inches, my finger was half an inch. Okay, cool. If 10 inches is 100% and I want to come down one finger length, you just do that math of, all right, cool, that's 95%. I can scale this helmet down 95%. And it theoretically should fit better.
And we're back. I like touched. That was weird. Yeah. Radio Shack. Yes. F in the chat. While my camera decides it wants to reboot. So, with that said, and I'm doing this with this on, you bet your ass. It's on there very well. Now look, this helmet, I can't get that gap. I can't get my finger in there because this helmet is 94%. So it's very brute force scaling, but it worked. That's exactly how I got this helmet to fit so nice. Yep. I need to start playing music on these live streams too, just in the background. There's dead air. That's funny. I like having that there. Woo. Alright, you gonna cooperate now? Probably not. Studio mode, and then we're gonna switch displays, and we're gonna turn on that, and then we're going to go here, and we're gonna deactivate it, and then we're gonna activate it, and then we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna
Luma wipe. And we're back again. I think that's 5, right? Jesus Christ, not a good night. So. Yeah, that's how I did that. Yeah, okay. Hi, John Plays. Make a playlist, blah, blah, blah. Welcome to getting a shot. Do you have a list or tutorial for what electronics you use and equipment that is needed? Turbo Bacon, yes. My entire Mark 85 build series, I go over most of the electronics I use. Is the broken cap shield a print? Kevin Ford, yes it is. Everything behind me is 3D printed. Except the Dragon Ball Z figures. Those are not. But the suit, the hammer, the shields, the hammer, the axe, the keyblade, all of the helmets here. Welcome to the stream, Kevin Ford. No problem, Vanilla. Using padding to make up the distance to help with the fit, or does it work better? Okay, the 6th sid, that depends on what you want. Do you want to make the helmet smaller? Like, are you scaling it to you, or do you just want it to fit? Because then yeah, add foam. That's a completely different thing. Can we see the orb? No, it's in the garage being painted. Sorry. Remco is still here, or he in the hospital from alcohol poisoning. What is this degeneracy? Hey, Thaddeus Ross. Remco's probably in the student rainbow. What's the orb printed at? What do you mean, what's the orb printed at? Like, settings? Except the walls as well, I would guess. No, the walls are 3D printed, as is that glass. I'm 3D printed. It's wild. It's what a time to be alive. Thank you for having a sense of humor, Turbo. What happened to the Mark 1 helmet? It's right here. Somebody wanted to see it, and I never showed them because the camera died. But this is the Mark 1 helmet. First and last. Ooh, ow. Looked it up on Thingiverse, and the name was Tony Youngblood. And yes, what set? Stock settings. You're still being kind of vague. Like, what are you wondering? Infill, density, supports, angles. Like, there's a lot of settings, and to what end goal? It's a pretty easy print. I just printed it fairly normally. I think I went maybe on a super quality. The electronics fit properly when the helmet fits so tightly at 94%. The eyes, yes. So that helmet there is just for photo shoots. This helmet right here is just for photo shoots. It'll have LED eyes, and that's it. My 96% helmet is just big enough to fit the servos. So you have to play around with scaling. And then every file is different. This is just on my CG Trader helmet. That doesn't mean it's going to work for every Mark 85 helmet. They're all scaled differently. Realize the Mark 1 kind of looks like the Knights Crusader helmet or something needs more. You're not wrong. How much infill percent for the costumes do... How much infill percent for the costumes do set... 100%? Oh my god, no. Oh god, never print anything like this at 100%. You're wild. 5 to 10%. Maybe an argument can be made for 15. Whoo! Did you use supports or rafts when you... Or what did you use for support settings and infill and all that? I print most of my things at 10%. It depends on the part. I use normal supports, tree supports. I adjust my overhang angle. The lowest I've ever ran is like a 50. The highest I've ever ran is a 70. You have to. It's very part specific. Yeah. Yes. So with us. With the stream, we're going to be ending the stream soon, so get in those last questions. A couple things I want to talk about. Please hang out till the end, please. Go join the Discord channel if somebody would like to drop a link in there. If you're not already part of the Discord, please do. It is my personal Discord. It is free. It is for a multitude of cosplay and 3D printing and everything in between and how they relate to each other. I would also like to plug another Discord focused mostly and specifically on Iron Man suits. It is made by Kiara Builds and Emily the Engineer, as well as a couple other people, Melbourne Iron Man, CTK Cosplay, and it's a much narrower Discord, so join them both because there is so much good information between both of those. You'll be covered on all ends. I don't know if anybody has a link to their Discord, but you can feel free to throw it in. If not, search Emily the Engineer or Kiara Builds on or Kiara Pillar Cos on Instagram, and they're on YouTube. I think I'll be adding their YouTubes to the side of my channel soon, actually, because you can add recommended channels, and I think I'm going to throw them in there too. So you can never have too much information, you know. So I definitely, and it's a cool little thing they're doing for the community, for the Iron Man community specifically, where mine is a broader forum with a Discord with a more blanket all to just cosplay and printing in general. So yeah, I think that link should work for yours. Yeah, probably. Also, what else? What else? What else? There's a lot of little projects going on. Star Boost, I am picking Star Boost back up, so please stay tuned for that. It's not dead. It was on hiatus. I had to finish a lot of things. Got a lot of cool videos coming out, a lot of cool projects. I can give you guys a little bit of a lot of you have already seen this, but it hasn't been on YouTube yet. But this is Jarnborn. This is Thor's axe from the comics. This is his first weapon before Mjolnir, and this is one of my best projects ever. I am so happy. I am so proud of this thing, and there's a video coming out on this. This was modeled by, you know, the good old Quentin Esp, the same guy who made Stormbreaker, the same guy who made Mjolnir over there. That. Yes. So this thing is wild, and it's an easy print for me because this was all printed in one piece. I will go over in the video how to chop it up and fit your printer a little bit better, but you're gonna have some seam lines to fill in. So yeah. So was your orb file made by Tony Youngblood? Yes, that's it.
It's Tony Youngblood, yes. Why? Like, I streamed for 3 hours yesterday with no problems. It is aggravating. I am aggravated. Plan to do any Star War Machine armor? No, I hate War Machine. Yes. So this is the axe. It's like a good size between Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. What else? Yeah, a lot of tutorials coming. Alright, actually, so with that, so kind of dumb question. You related to Kiara Cosplay, just realized the shared. No, it's not her last name. Yeah. I didn't have stream problem, my battery died. This is not a battery die, so it's not a stream problem. That was a battery problem. It's very different. I want to try to get the camera back one last time. Might have to look into a different device. Or just wipe my computer and reinstall all my drivers. It's been acting kind of weird lately anyway. Yep. I'm gonna start moving away from tutorials. I'm running out of tutorials in a singular sense.
And what I mean, there we go. And what I mean by that is, you know, I've showed you a lot of the things I've done. I've kind of showed you how I paint. I've showed you how to PLA weld. I've showed you how to sand. I am going to do a couple tutorials on electronics, but more of the videos are going to start kind of evolving into builds. I'm going to show you how I'm making something, and it'll utilize a lot of the videos. Like in my Mjolnir video, I don't talk too much about painting because I have a video on that. I'm going to show you how to slice the files up, how it goes together, any changes I made, and that's pretty much going to be it. Same with the Jarnborn axe. This is how I modified it. This is how I would cut it up, and it's less of a tutorial and more of you getting to watch me make it. Because I don't want to beat a dead. You know, I could show you. All right, today, guys, I'm going to teach you how to paint the gunmetal on this Iron Man hand, and it's like it's gonna be wash. It's just gonna be content. It's gonna be fluff and filler, and I don't want to crowd the channel with that. I want to start showing you guys a lot of the projects I'm making. I have so many projects that aren't on YouTube because they're just so hard to film, and I'm catching up. You know, looking around the room right now, I still have the Z Sword, Jarnborn. I might do the Stormbreaker. That thing that I can't talk about. The Samus helmet makes 6, And then in the garage, I have all 6 Infinity weapons, so that's 12 projects. And then I have the Captain America shield. That's 13, that's 14, and that's 15, and that's 16, and that's 7. So like there's like 16 or 17, and then I have another hidden project in the garage that's 18. Then I have Guts' sword that's 19. Yeah, there's a lot of projects. And that's just the cosplay building side. I have to still build this Sunlu S8 printer and do a review on that. There's a lot. So I want to turn the channel slowly into like, I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to copy, but kind of like how Tested is, where it's mostly you guys watching me build things, and I can give you tips on how I built it, and all the resources are there, but it's not as much of a giant tutorial channel like more actually kind of like Odin makes, or kind of things like that, where it's I just make these things and record it and share it with you guys because I love making these things. So that's what it's gonna be. Some of y'all are too dense to be taught. No. An electronics equipment related video like electronics must-haves would be super helpful. Some of the information might be spread between too many videos to get a good grasp. Yeah, it's a tricky one.
It's so bad. I'm not going to try to save it. We're going to cut out with this. I have never had camera issues like this. This is a new record. You may have this, but do you use PLA work okay as to wear it outside? The PLA doesn't work as I live in Australia. Use PLA plus, and you're painting it, and that's going to very help mitigate the amount of heat it absorbs. So, nope, battery's not dead. Battery's fine. Battery's actually at 43%. Yeah. Why? Like, why? Like, why are you doing this? All right, this week I'm wiping my computer. I'm restarting all my drivers. I gotta nail this down. It's very aggravating, and I apologize, guys. This is like a new record of camera issues. Take care, Bruno. Thank you for tuning in, man. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. I just want to end on a good note, and you're making it difficult, camera.
Okay. Last time, I wanted to show you actually. Somebody mentioned now that the paint dried on the Z sword, this gold was such a good idea. The gold and the new emerald, the new color. Yeah. So this thing came out. I'm very glad I updated this. This gold looks fantastic.
That was a record. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Camera's off. That was a record. Yeah, alright. Dude, I literally 3.5 hours I was on Twitch last night. Not one issue. My camera, I had to change out my battery one time. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. It's really annoying. But, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Isn't that shiny? Look at that. Aha. No, it has nothing to do with recording. Yeah, I guess, right? Yeah. So, that does it. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. Stay tuned. I have been increasing my upload rate, and it's been paying off. We just broke 6,000 subscribers, and we're already at 6,600, 6,700. So YouTube's picking up. I also am going to be uploading more just fun videos. I'm working on it's like just a 60-second compilation video of all the electronics and just kind of showing off the suit. I want to upload some shorter videos that's just gonna be you can watch and be like, that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna be adding some probably once a week. I'm gonna try maybe once a week, adding more kind of how my general updates were. I'm probably gonna stop doing the general updates and move into a vlog style where I just grab my camera. I'm in the garage working on this thing, and I just for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just record and talk. What am I doing? Hey guys, I just wanted to show you that, I have my Z sword here and I'm reprinting or I'm repainting this thing, Or hey, I had a print failure and I want to talk about why. Way less editing, literally me just talking for those couple of minutes and showing you something. Much more vlog style. And it'll be filler between tutorials and reviews and builds, but it'll also be valuable information. I'll make sure not to detract from that. I appreciate everything, guys, really. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for taking time out of your night to watch me ramble and talk about nerd things. Look how funny those eyes look right now. Can we just appreciate that? Because the glare, he looks like he's just like super like, wow, that's really funny. Yes, this turned out great. This gold, I'm floored with this gold. I might use this gold on my Keyblade, actually. We'll see. We'll see. So, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you to all my patrons. As always, thank you guys. You make so much of this possible. And my MVPs for moderating and everybody in between who contributes extra to the channel. But nonetheless, I do appreciate everybody who watches, everybody who comes out for these. It's wild. If you guys like the streams, if you guys like listening to me talk and ramble and teach and work on things, go follow me on Twitch. I do have a Twitch channel now, and it's a workshop chat where I will just randomly go live and I'll be in the garage working and painting. So it's a much more kicked back and relaxed live stream. Not structured, no real purpose of teaching and showing you guys things and doing Q&As. It's just hanging out while I'm in the garage. So it's a lot of fun, and it's YouTube streams unplugged. You'll get a lot more of a less YouTubey me and a little bit more of how I am off camera, even though I'm on camera. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Again, this will probably, I might live stream next Sunday. We'll see. That'll still be kind of up in the air, but we'll see how it goes. And yeah, thank you. Make sure there's nothing left in the chat. And hopefully less camera issues, man. Hopefully less camera issues. We'll see. Yeah, right? I don't get it. So, thank you.